Good morning, everyone, and welcome to this special Facebook Live session brought to you by Sunway Admissions. So, I'm the host for today, and we are absolutely delighted to have you with us. Today's session is especially exciting because we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Martin, the Senior International Recruitment Manager from the Victoria University of Wellington, one of the New Zealand's most prestigious universities. So, we will begin with a short presentation from Mr. Martin about studying at Victoria University of Wellington, and then move into a live Q&A session where we will cover all your most important questions about programs, scholarships, application, and more. So, Mr. Martin, thank you so much for joining us today. It's truly an honor to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Martin. I'm from the International Office at Victoria University of Wellington. Apologies for the slight delay. There was a bit of a misunderstanding in time. Yeah, I will take you now very quickly through a rough overview of our university, and then there will be a chat Q&A session after that. Okay, so I'm just gonna make it full screen so that you can see everything. Yeah, again, welcome to Victoria University. As you can see in this picture, Wellington is situated at a very big harbour. And what you see here is downtown Wellington, and our university has three campuses across the city. One is up here on top of the mountain. The other one is closer here to the waterfront, and the third one is around the corner from that mountain, what you cannot see right now, but there will be another slide later on that you see that a little bit better. Um, to give you just a rough understanding of who we are and what we do, so as I mentioned before, we have three campuses. We have about 21,000 students. Of those, about 3,000 are international students, and they come from more than 100 countries all over the globe. And yeah, we are also a very research intense university. We have 43 research institutes that are actually either run by the university or affiliated with the university. We are globally connected. We have partnerships with about 145 institutions across the world, and that includes research partnerships, it includes exchange programs, articulation agreements, and much more. We also have over 140 clubs and societies. So when you come here, obviously you're here to study your program, but of course there are other things to do as well, like sports clubs or choirs or food-related clubs and societies. So there is something to do for everyone. As mentioned, we do have three campuses, and here you see them from a different angle. We start at one on the left-hand side. This is where we teach our business program, our government programs, as well as our law program. And this campus is called Pipitia. This campus is in the vicinity of the Parliament of New Zealand. It's actually just across the road from that building, and there's also a lot of government departments, ministries. There's the High Court, the Supreme Court, and a lot of the embassies are in this area. Then in the middle, you have Kelburn campus, which is our main campus. There we have science and engineering. We have health education and psychology, and also humanities and social sciences. And then to the right, we have Te Aro, which is our creative campus, and there we teach architecture and design. In terms of ranking, there is a New Zealand internal ranking which looks at the research intensity of universities, and we have come out on top of that ranking twice. Yeah.
Martin, I'm sorry to interrupt you. So I believe there is an issue. So we are unable to see the slide. So could you
Oh,
kindly move to the next slide? Yeah,
okay.
thank you. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
Can you see this slide now? Accreditations.
No, we are seeing the same slide. The
Okay.
first,
All
yeah.
right. I'll just talk through them. This is my last two slides anyway, and then we can move
Oh,
on to
oh,
the chat.
oh,
So,
nice.
in terms of rankings, we do have an internal ranking in New Zealand where we came out on top twice, which makes us very proud. So that is obviously testimony to our research efforts that we do. And also in terms of global rankings, when we're looking at the QS ranking, we're in the top 2% in the world out of about 18,000 universities worldwide. And we also have a range of subjects that are in the top 100 in the world. And also, QS ranking gives a star rating system for different indicators. There are 8 in total, for example, student services, employability, and so on and so forth. And we came out with a 5-star plus overall rating in that star rating. The other thing that students are probably interested in are accreditations. So our business school, for example, is Triple Crown accredited. That means that there are 3 institutions in the world that rank business schools of universities across the globe. And if you have a good rating from all 3, this is what's called Triple Crown. We also have all the accreditations that students need to become, for example, accountants in Australia and New Zealand. And also our engineering programs are under the Washington Accord, which means they are recognized throughout the world. And we have a lot of other accreditations and recognitions as well. So I think that would wrap up my quick introduction to the university overall.
Yeah. That. Thank you. So, yeah, thank you so much for the insightful presentation. So now we will move into our Q&A session. So we have received many questions from the students, and although also we have limited time today, so we have
Sure.
selected a few of the most relevant and frequently asked ones. So, first question: how can students apply for scholarships at Victoria University of Wellington? And are there any specific criteria they need to meet?
So it is. This session today is quite timely, but also it's not at the same time. So we do have a scholarship page on our website where you can see the
Yeah.
scholarships that we are offering. However, we are also in the middle of revising our scholarships. So there will be a new set of scholarships coming up very soon, and they will probably change quite a few of them as we are moving to a set of automatic scholarship rather than scholarships that students need to apply for as they are at the moment. So what I can say to students is to have a look at our website and look for the scholarship page and keep an eye on it over the next, I would say, maybe 4 to 8 weeks, as there will be quite a few changes coming uh, to move away from apply scholarships to automatic scholarships. So basically, when students get then admissions into the program, they would probably get a scholarship applied. At the moment, what they see at the moment on the website are the scholarships where they have to apply for it.
Okay. Okay.
So it's
Got it.
quite exciting at the moment, but unfortunately, we don't have the information quite ready for today. But over the next few weeks, this will be coming
Okay. Yeah.
and will
So,
be public.
yeah, done. So, the next question: that if a student has a slightly lower CGPA than the required, so is there still any possibility for admission? So, I'm talking
Um,
about the academic requirements. Yeah.
Okay, so what we usually, I assume we'll, so, well, it depends. If it is for an undergraduate program, so if the student has done a high school and didn't quite meet the entry requirements for our undergraduate program, then we have a foundation studies program available for those students. And that is anywhere between 18 months and 6 months. So usually depending on the student's English ability. And that will then give them access to any of our undergraduate programs once they have successfully passed the courses. If the student has done a bachelor's degree and is looking at masters and the student does not quite meet the GPA, um, that depends a little bit. Um, there are sometimes there is a graduate diploma available where students can study through that and bring their grades up. and then reapply for the master's program. Um, if the student just really slightly missed the GPA, but the student has a lot of work experience in that particular field, they can appeal to the program director and see if they are happy to take the work experience into consideration. There's no guarantee for that, but there are some for program director that are willing to reconsider students' applications based on possible work experience. So those would be the options that students have. Sometimes also it makes sense to look at maybe at another program. We have also conversion masters available. That means they can be studied with any background. And maybe there is one that is aligned with the student's interest, and the students may have maybe the entry requirement is slightly lower to the initial program that they have applied for.
Wow, that's good. So you explained very well. So the next question that what is the tuition fee payment procedure? So for example, if a program is 18 months long, and
Mhm.
can a student pay 1 year's fee fast and the rest later?
Sure. So, first of all, there's no deposit payment for the university. This is something that is quite normal in other countries where students have to pay a deposit at the university. In New Zealand, this doesn't exist. So, students just pay the fees as part of their visa process. Um, if the program is longer than 1 year and more than 120 points, we talk in points, then students can pay for the first 2 trimesters, which is 120 points. Um, if the program is shorter than that, so then obviously they have to pay for the full duration. Let's say we have master programs, they are 1 year and they are 120, 180 points. In that case, the student will be required to pay the full 180 points. If the program, we also have some of those, it's a master program that is also 180 points, but it goes over 1.5 years. Then students can pay for 120 points first, and then they pay the rest later. The only thing that students must consider is that Immigration New Zealand will only issue a visa for the period of time the student has paid for. So if the student pays for 120 points, that means they then have to renew their visa once they get to the end of their first visa for the rest of the duration. If they pay the full 180 points, then it's likely that Immigration New Zealand will issue them a visa for the entire duration.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a very clear answer. Okay, so yeah, thank you. So how long? The next question is how long does it usually take to receive an admission decision after submitting an application, and what part of the application should students be most careful about?
Okay, so this is a tricky question because
Yeah.
it all depends a little bit. So, first of all, it depends on the time of the year. If students apply in the peak season, obviously everyone is also busy at the university. That is then when things take a bit longer. If they apply during the off season, then it is they get a response faster. And also, um, many like every faculty is a bit different, right? Some of them are faster, some of them are a bit slower. What students should expect is for a master qualification they should think about 3 to 4 weeks for an answer. Might be shorter, but to be on the safe side, look at 3 to 4 weeks. If it is a bachelor's, then maybe 1 or 2 weeks, and that would be the processing time. um, what is important and as part of the application, it depends on if the student is applying for a program that requires for them to appoint a supervisor upfront. Then it is very important that the students think about their email to the supervisor carefully. We have some students, they only send a one liner and then they wonder why they do not get a response from the academic. They get a lot of inquiries, and if it is just on one line, they will dismiss that. So here it's really important that the student thinks about tell the academic what do you want to study, why do you want to study this, and that you have done a bit of research about the program and maybe the academic. Otherwise, in any other for any other application, really just make sure that all the documents are there. Maybe if you don't have English right at that time when you apply, that's okay. This can always be done later. But anything else, that we have the transcripts, the completion certificates, if there is a statement of purpose required, that this is there. So really just that all the documents are there, that and that they are good and a good quality copy. Sometimes you can barely read what is on it because it's a bit shaky on the phone or whatever. That all this will delay the process. So yeah, but otherwise, it is really just to have everything ready that makes it a lot easier for us as well.
Oh, that's great. So the next question, that definitely we are getting so many application for this program. So
Hmm.
could you please tell us more about the Master of Health program? So like on the website, so there are so many specialization mentioned. So
Yeah.
what are the specializations, and what kind of job opportunities are available after completing this program, like Master of Health?
Sure. Okay. So this program has, let me just count, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight specialization.
Yeah,
Although the first specialization is to complete the program without a specialization, so
yeah, yeah.
maybe that doesn't count. Let me touch about the ones midwifery and nursing and professional practice first. Those specialization require students to be a registered nurse, for example, already. So this will not lead to nursing registration. For that, we have a separate program called Master of Nursing Practice. Um, Here, so those programs do require students to be already registered professionals in that area in order to study this program. The most popular specializations of that program are the health leadership and management, as well as the health promotion. Health promotion is probably something that you call public health. So it's just a different terminology that we use. So those two would definitely be the most popular choices. Um, Health leadership and management. So this program is available twice per year. So once in trimester one, which starts in February, and one in trimester two in July. However, health leadership and management is always best to start in trimester one. So just as a side note. Um, so health leadership management. So, for example, healthcare or aged care centers, for example, or nursing homes and so on. That is where students end up working, or in hospitals, for example. But also, some students go into government, for example, Ministry of Health. So, these are the areas where students would find employment. What is important is we do have a careers team, and they help students with their job application, with interview skill techniques, with CV writing, and so on and so forth. It is important that students start working with that service as soon as they come here, because the master program is very short. So in a blink of an eye, you will be at the end of your program. And so that's why important start with them, working with them early, so that you are best prepared for employment once you reach the end of your program.
Okay, that's great. So, the next question, that is, there is a lot of interest in the Master of Professional Business Analysis program. So, who
Mhm.
is eligible for it, and what are the career prospects for this program, Master of Professional Business Analysis?
Sure. So, what is interesting about this program compared to the Master of Health, for example, the Master of Health is looking for students that have a background in health, or any related subject to that. The Master of Professional Business Analysis, on the other hand, is something that we call a conversion masters. So that means student with any background can study this program. There's only one little exception. If you have done something in that space, for example, information systems could be one thing, you would be too advanced because the program starts teaching those things from scratch. So if you have done a background in that, you would be advanced. you would learn nothing new in this program. But if you are maybe you have a bachelor in architecture, or you have a background in nursing, or a background in commerce, or whatever, then you can study this program. What this program does is it is not so much about number crunching. For that, we have a Master of Data Science, but it is how to propel a business forward through optimization via technology and procedures. So, in software and technology. Okay, so this is what it does. So, you look into an organization, you see what the issues are or where there could be improvements, and then the students will learn how to overcome those obstacles by using technology and software to make that a better business. And again here as well, so the applications are obviously quite wide because you can apply this to pretty much any business. um, and um, and again here, work with our employment team. Also, the services that our employment team offer are available to students for 3 years after they have graduated. That is quite important.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
and
let's
I
talk.
think there's an internship also included in that program, if I'm not mistaken. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay, thank you. So let's talk about the Master of Engineering program. So who can apply and what are the specializations are available under this program, Master of
Mhm.
Engineering? Yeah.
Okay, so we do have, so our engineering faculty is IT focused only. So what you do is you study at our engineering school. It's about cybersecurity. It's about software development, electronics, robotics, AI, machine learning. This space. We do not really cater for civil engineering or chemical engineering or something. That's not really our area. Um, so if you have a background in those areas, then the Master of Engineering might be of interest. However, what I would like to do is invite students to have a look at our Master of Engineering practice. That is a program that kind of combines the practical aspect of engineering with the academic side of things. And there's an internship involved in that program too. So and there we can also take a little bit more of a wider spectrum. So here we can sometimes take some civil engineers in it if they have done certain courses in their background and so on and so forth. And it is a much more practical orientated program that students would benefit from. So, and it's a 1 year program, if I'm not mistaken. I should know
Okay.
this.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
So the
but what they
last
do,
we have,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry if
yeah,
I just interrupt. On our website, when you look all those programs up that we have
yeah,
just discussed,
definitely,
there is a tab where you can see all the courses that you
yeah,
study
yeah,
within the program.
definitely, definitely. So the last question actually.
Sure.
So there are so many students that we have that they want to apply for Master of Education or
Yep.
Master of Teaching and Learning. So
Right.
I just want to know that who can apply this program and what is the requirements for Master of Education or Master of Teaching and Learning.
Okay, so first of all, what students should probably know is that the Master of Education is a program that teaches advanced education courses, but it does not lead to teacher registration in New Zealand. This is what the other programs are for. Okay, so this is where students can specialize in education area and then apply their knowledge, for example, working at the Ministry of Education or at an NGO or in any environment that has an education aspect to it. And for this program, we usually look at students that have a background in education or psychology, or they come already with the teacher training in their previous or in their academic background. For the Master of Teaching and Learning, so this one is a bit of interesting. Um,
Yeah.
there are two versions or two ways to get teacher registration through our university. One is a graduate diploma, and there we offer early childhood, primary, and secondary. And the other one is the Master of Teaching and Learning, where we do primary and secondary. Um, the teacher registration that the students get in the end is exactly the same. The difference is that the Master of Teaching and Learning has a mentorship component to it, and this is where there is a bit of uh, s- something special about it in terms of the admissions process.
Yeah.
At the moment, students must come to Wellington for the selection interview for the Master of Teaching and Learning. We
That
are
is the
working with the faculty to
yeah,
hopefully have a solution for that at hand. But
yeah,
as of now, this is the case. For the graduate diploma, their students can take that a selection interview online. They don't have to come here. So um, keep an eye on things. Hopefully, we do have a solution for the Master of
yeah,
Teaching and Learning.
yeah.
But in the meantime, the graduate diploma is the other option, and it leads to the same teacher registration as the other program.
Yeah, so it is not possible for the students to go to New Zealand for the interview. Okay.
No,
So,
we do have some onshore students,
yeah,
international
yeah.
onshore students,
Okay, okay. They can.
but
Yeah,
just to fly
yeah.
for the interview,
Yeah,
I
yes,
think that's a
it's
bit of
not
a stretch.
possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not possible. So yeah, so that is the reason actually that why we are not getting students for master of teaching, because on the website that is clearly mentioned about it, what you mentioned already.
Mm,
So so I believe that the authority will work on it, so that how they can
we'll
solve
try our
this
best.
problem. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that is the problem. So yeah, so we got some students for master of teaching, so but yeah, we didn't apply for them actually, because only for this problem for the interview. So
Yes.
interview is mandatory. So some other university, I think they are taking interview on online. So yeah, so that is the
They
problem.
do not usually have that mentorship part in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that's the difference from us to the other universities.
I think, yeah.
But as I said, we will try. I think primary would probably be the first
Hopefully.
one to crack.
Mm,
Secondary
mm.
would probably take a bit longer. But yeah, fingers
Yeah,
crossed. Maybe
hopefully.
we get a
Yeah,
solution.
so that's all of today. So thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for sharing all this valuable information with us and for answering the key questions for our students had. And thank you to everyone who joined us live today. We hope this session helped you a clearer picture of the amazing opportunities available at Victoria University of Wellington. For any further queries, or if you want to start your application, you know that we are offering no service charge. So feel free to reach out us at Sunway Admission. We are here to guide you every step of the way. And also, Mr. Martin, you can declare that you are coming to join the webinar. So
Yes.
about
Now I need to just quickly look up when it
yeah.
is, unless you know off the top of your head. So there will be a webinar coming up where we do something similar to here, but a little bit more in depth, where we explain a little bit more about the
Yeah,
university, the different faculties where you can live, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in that, please come along. I believe it was in September, if I'm not.
I have to check. So yeah, so I just request to the students to follow our Facebook page to know the updates. Yeah,
My colleague says 29th of October. Let me just, I have
okay.
it somewhere uh, in my calendar. Anyways, no, no, no,
Yeah,
that's a different one.
that is a different one. Yeah,
No,
that is
I think
different.
it was in September.
Yeah,
So anyways, please come
I
along
think
and follow the website from
yeah,
Sunway
yeah,
Admissions
yeah.
to find
So,
out.
so thank you again, Mr. Martin. I know you are super busy, but you joined, so we appreciate that. And yeah, that's all for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everyone, and you have a good day. Talk soon.